Namaste, namaste, and welcome to Monday Midday Chair Yoga. And today is the last session of our 2005 yoga year of yoga. And today we are focusing our practice on the crown chakra, the very, very top of our chakra system. And this term we've worked our way from base all the way up to crown. And so it's the culmination of all of the practice that we've done as well. Everything will slot in. And it hopefully will become apparent what we've done all of the other bits for. So today we do need a block. So I've got actually two different blocks here. One is slightly heavier than the other, and this block's going to rest on the crown of the head. So choosing a block or a brick or a brick, cushion, book, anything that you can rest onto the crown of the head, something that's not precious, won't matter if it falls off onto the floor, won't do you a disservice, or indeed the floor or the item of itself. So we're just going to pop those bits and pieces down and then begin our practice with just some nice sitting work. So sitting towards the front of your seat, pressing the feet down into the floor, and with that downward press, we also get that slight descent into the base chakra, the tailbone, and we lift into the crown of the head. Rest your hands wherever they're comfortable, just gently closing the eyes or gazing downward. Take this moment to step away from all of the other things going on around you, stepping into your time and space for yoga. Take the opportunity to move your awareness around your body, feeling how your body is in this moment. Perhaps there are some areas of stiffness, tension, or aches and pains. Noting these areas so that you may work with compassion throughout the practice. Notice too at least one part of the body that feels peaceful, spacious, and at ease. Feel that sense of ease rippling out from wherever it's centered, softening the tension in the body as it goes. Notice your breath. Notice the rate and the rhythm of your breath. Maybe in noticing your breath, there is a gentle softening, lengthening of your breath, but try not to force the breath to be what it isn't. In our practice today, we are very much focused on the alignment of the body to allow the flow of energy from base to crown. In the base chakra, it's between the legs at the very bottom of the torso, but also connects into the soles of the feet. So anytime you have your sitting bones or your feet on the floor, you can really connect into that grounding, stabilizing energy of the base chakra. And the next chakra up is our navel chakra, sacral chakra. It's around about our belly buttons, governs the movements of the hips, creativity. And then we have Manipura chakra, the solar plexus underneath the rib cage. That's full of energy, confidence, self-confidence, power, vitality. We've got our heart chakra in the center of the chest, where we keep our compassion and patience and kindness and love. Our throat chakra, just where the very top of the torso joins the neck. This is all about communication, creative communication, listening, talking, interacting, speaking truth. And then we have our third eye chakra between the eyebrows, just slightly above in the center of the forehead, the seat of our intuition, our consciousness, our ability to know truth. And finally, to the crown chakra, right at the top of the head, pointing directly upwards and then down into the body. And this is the seat of our superconsciousness. It's our connection to the energy that is bigger than ourselves, so universal energy, if you like. It holds a sense of unity and oneness. And it is often described in the color of pure white or very pale violet. The mantra for this chakra is Om, or the space between sounds. It encompasses all of the elements. It's called Sahasrara, the Thousand Petalled Lotus. And so we're going to begin our practice with the mudra for this chakra. So you can blink your eyes open if you will. I'm going to come a little bit closer to the camera so that you can see, but you guys just stay sitting. So Sahasrara, the Thousand Petalled Lotus, the mudra for this is to bring the little fingers and the outside edge of the hand together, and then the thumbs and the inside edge of the hand together. So the heel of the hand meets, but the fingers are separated, and it depicts the lotus. So we're going to take that mudra, that gesture of the hands, and we can place it anywhere that feels good. But for those who are able, you can lift it above the head. Doesn't need to be right above the crown of the head. It could be in front of the head if that's where shoulders will move to. If you can get it over the crown of your head, then that's great. We keep the petals open by separating the fingers from each other and the hands at the fingertips from each other. And then here we can focus on perhaps a sensation of light pouring into the palms of the hands, and from the palms of the hands being concentrated to beam directly into the crown of the head. So our hands are like a cup gathering this sense of universal energy and light, directing it into the crown chakra, and from there it moves down into the whole body through each of the chakras below. Give yourself one more deep breath in and out here. And then we're going to bring the palms of the hands together and rest the thumbs against the third eye at the center of the forehead. And then bring the hands down to connect into the throat chakra at the bottom of the throat. And then take the palms one on top of each other to rest across the heart. And then take the hands underneath the rib cage to rest onto the abdomen. And then a little bit lower to rest across the navel. And then we're going to take the hands and rest them onto the thighs to connect into the base chakra or the root chakra to connect the sit bones down and the soles of the feet to the floor. And then when you're ready, you can relax the arms to your sides, roll your shoulders a few times, or just bring the chin towards the chest. So having connected into our chakras, we're gently going to roll the right ear towards the right shoulder and the chin back towards the chest and the left ear to the left shoulder and chin to chest, going one way and then the other, a couple of times in each direction. Doing just one more. Before meeting again with the chin on the chest in the center. Give yourself another soft smile, raise your head and open your eyes if they've been closed, and we'll just roll the shoulders Another few times. Excellent. So alignment, this sense of length and connection through the body so that all of the energy can flow between the chakras is the main focus of our day today. And we are going to begin with just a few swings of the shoulders, a little shrug of the shoulders, just to find that sense of releasing any tension across the upper back of the neck. And then we're going to turn this into much bigger movements to open the arms all the way up as we look up. And as the arms go down, we perhaps lean slightly forward to look down. So breathing in and up, breathing out slightly forward, pressing into the feet. Breathing in and up, breathing out and forward. Breathing in and up, breathing out and forward. We just do one more, breathing in and up, breathing out and forward, and we're going to finish by breathing in to come all the way up. Separate the hands and draw the arms down around the body as we exhale. Another few little rolls of the shoulder. I'm going to take off my scarf now that I've warmed up a little bit. A few rolls of the shoulders. And then we're going to take the arms nice and wide. We're going to bring the palms together in front of the body, chin to chest. And then take the arms nice and wide and maybe glide the elbows into the sides of the waist, maybe even behind the sides of the body as you look to each side as we come back the way. So we're going to breathe in here, breathe out as we round forward, palms towards each other. Breathing in as we open the arms and then glide the shoulder blades into the sides of the body. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. One more time, breathing out. Breathing in. And then reaching the arms nice and long, turning the palms and floating the arms down to the side. Just a little roll of the shoulders. Very good. Here, as we sit on our chairs, we're going to move the shoulders in circles. So arms as well. So thinking about pressing the feet down, lifting into the crown of the head, keeping that movement of the energy available. We're just going to draw nice big circles around the body with our arms. And for those who feel comfortable, you can stick with the arms moving in opposite directions, but both in the same way, if that makes sense. And then for those who don't mind going in opposite directions, we're going to start at the top and move the right hand forward and the left hand backwards, and then sweep the arms the opposite way, left hand forward and right arm back and up. So we're making circles in opposite directions on either side of the body. Only if that comes naturally to you. If not, stick with circling the arms as you did to begin with. So those who are circling in opposite directions can change direction, and those who are circling their arms the same but opposite also can change direction. These instructions are quite confused, but I hope that you understand. So as we're moving with our arms like this, we get a little twist across the body as well. Those who are simply moving their arms in these circles in either direction, making sure it's both. Now, where am I? Very good. We're going to come to the top, reach up with both hands, lift the chin, bring the palms together and just bring the hands down through the chakras to rest onto the thighs. Take a moment just to settle here, find that sense of lift. Deep breath in and sigh out. Very good. We are now going to take our blocks. So you can use any kind of thing to put on the crown of the head. So when we do chair yoga, it's much harder for us to feel contact with the crown of the head by inverting the body to place the crown of the head on the floor, on the chair. We did a lovely practice where we put the forehead on the chair and on a block last week, but the crown of the head's much harder to get to. So instead of forcing ourselves upside down, we're going to do this by sitting up and placing our block on top of the head. So for this, we need to have that great sense of lift. We can balance the block on the crown of the head. It doesn't matter if it wobbles and falls off, we just pick it up and put it back on again. And then resting the arms wherever is comfortable, maybe giving a little gentle roll of the shoulders if you wish to, resting the hands onto the lap, taking a few deeper breaths here. And we're trying to sit really tall. So we have that sense of balanced support for our block. And just as we realize that if our block is balanced, then there is the ability to balance the chakras at the top of our chakra system, because they won't wobble if they have a firm foundation underneath them. So just a few deeper breaths. You can even close your eyes if you'd like to, or gaze gently downward if you prefer. And then when you're ready, you can gently lift this block off the top of the head. And don't worry, if it fell off a few times, it's not a problem at all. With practice, everything is coming. And we're going to do that again standing up later. But for now, we're going to pop the blocks down to one side. And we're going to do a little bit of our sit to stands. So really focusing on the foundation of the feet and the firmness of the belly, we can gently hover the hips and release down. Gently hover and release. We hover and release. And we're trying to get that sense of ease here, doing it so often that the strength is automatically there and it feels comfortable to do. This time, hovering and then standing all the way up, feeling like you're unfurling the body into this upright position and then all the way back down again. We bend at the knees, bend at the hips, lengthen the tailbone back behind us and sit lightly down. One more time like that, hovering, standing all the way tall, unfurling the body into this beautiful upright, and then one more time coming down. And this time we'll stay standing as we hover, unfurl all the way up, turn the palms and just float the arms down to the side. And when they come to the side, we're standing tall, we're finding that sense of lift, that sense of length, a sense of space, rolling in the shoulders a couple of times. And then I'm going to move my chair so it's out of the way for some Kati Chakrasana. And as we've worked with the chakras all through this term, it may not surprise you to know that as Kati Chakrasana has the word chakra in it, it is one of the best poses to align all of our chakras. So a little soft in the knees, got the feet nice and wide, and we just gently twist from side to side, thinking about pressing the soles of the feet down and the crown of the head up to find that sense of space and lift so that we can easily move in between and that we've got that flow of energy in the body. The arms can wrap around the body, tapping wherever they fall. Just taking it easy. Beginning to feel our way. And if you need to keep the head more centered and more steady, you absolutely can. It is possible to do this with a block on the head as well, but we're not doing that practice today. But I invite you to challenge yourself at home. Keeping the head still as you have the block on it is the best way. When you're ready, if you wish to, you can add a little pivot on the toes. Just making sure there's a gentle lift through the belly muscles. And if you'd like to, you can add a soft bounce in the knees, a bounce and twist, maybe touching the opposite side of the torso in front of you, and behind you. Giving the hands a destination, tapping wherever you feel it would be good to stimulate that energy for our practice. When you're ready, you can come back towards center by losing the bounce and then bringing the feet to steadiness and swaying back to the center. As you come to center, standing tall, pressing into the feet, lengthening into the crown of the head. Deep breath in and sigh out. Very good. I realise I have got this jumper on as well, which I'm going to take off. So there are lots of poses that you can do for the crown chakra. Anything that encourages us to have this sense of length is great. And one of the really nice poses that we do in mat yoga is to do deep squat, malasana. Now in chair yoga, we're not going to do that deep squat in quite the same way, but we are going to use our chairs for a little squatting action. So we're going to begin with the feet side by side, just a comfortable distance apart and standing really tall here. And again, it's all about that sense of length. Hands can rest in front of the body, belly muscles firm. And we're going to bend the knees just to wherever they naturally go so the feet stay on the floor. And then when we get there, we just want to make sure we're not like off center, somewhere odd. We want to make sure that our weight is down from the crown of the head into the soles of the feet. And we're just holding as we breathe. You might like to look down briefly just to make sure your feet are underneath your knees. So they don't need to be like in any particular alignment, apart from we don't want the knees to be falling further, much further out than the feet or falling in. So just over the knees is good. It encourages an even distribution of effort around the muscles of the hips and thighs. And then finding that upright lift. If you wish to, you can take one hand to your heart or both hands to the center of the chest. And then if you wish to, you can lift both arms over the head. They don't need to be palms together. It could be palms separate, shoulders softening down, or it could be just one hand or the other. Take another deep breath in here in chair pose, and a deep breath out. And then we're going to breathe in to lengthen the legs and breathe out to let the arms come down. Rest your arms by your side, give your legs a little shake out, remembering always to work with compassion in the body. So if that feels really strong in the legs, just do smaller amounts. Hold for one breath, then hold for 2, then 5. Who knows? Who knows where you might get to with that progressive kind of work. So our next variation of this pose is to come onto the tiptoes, but we're just going to work the feet first. So hands onto the chair, we're just coming up onto the tiptoes as high as feels comfortable, and then lowering down heels to the floor, maybe rocking the weight back into the heels slightly, then coming forward into the toes to lift, and releasing back, rocking the weight back into the heels. Maybe the toes lift a little from the floor, and then the heels lift from the floor. And then the toes lift from the floor. Just a little rocking backwards and forwards, really connecting into that sense of grounding in the feet. This time, as you come up onto your tiptoes, we're going to bend the knees at the top of the movement and only the knees. So we come into that same position that we did with the feet down on the floor, but now we're up on tiptoes. We can hold the chair for support for as much as we need to. Firm the belly muscles, have just a gentle wiggle of the hips to make sure that you find that sense of length between the base chakra and the crown chakra. For those who wish to, you can bring your palms, one hand to the center of the chest or one arm up. If you'd like to, you can do both palms to the center of the chest, both arms up. As you choose, holding as you breathe, knees over the feet, not in, not out. Another deep breath in and out. We'll bring our hands down first and then lengthen the legs and lower the heels. Take a moment here just to shake out the legs if you need to. I quite like to turn the tops of my feet towards the floor, But if that doesn't work for your ankle, then you can do a little bit of ankle circling. Same, but different. And the same on the other side, either turning the toes towards the floor so top of the foot is lengthened, or a little bit of ankle circling, or a bit of both. Why not? Stepping onto both feet, just giving your legs a little shake out. So there is another version of this that we can do on just one foot. And I'm going to give you the option of doing it flat-footed or with the heel lifted as well. So if we face the chair with the hands on the chair, we're going to lift the left foot off the floor. It doesn't need to be lifted high. You can bend it all the way up if you like, just a little off the floor. And make sure as you look down your right leg, your right hip is over your right foot. And then here we're going to bend the knee. We don't want to bend the torso. We're not trying to stick ourselves forward. We're trying to be upright, that great alignment from base to crown, but the front knee is bent and the knee is bent over the foot. So, or there or thereabouts. So when you're there, perhaps this is enough, and perhaps you would like to come up onto your tiptoe on that right foot. Do what feels right for your body. Hold on as much as you need to. It's about balance. Find that point of focus that's not moving ahead of you. And if you wish to, you could take one hand away from the chair back. Take a couple of deeper breaths. And then when you're ready, lowering your heel, lengthening your legs, stepping onto both feet. Perfect. Give yourself a moment here, maybe a little shake out of various bits and pieces, maybe a wiggle of the hips and a wriggle of the shoulders. You will find it quite startling where your body will put tension when you're holding something on your leg. Perhaps you feel it in your shoulders afterwards. Who knows? Everybody is different. We'll do this one more time to the left. So, and remember, you can always just do another round of both feet on the floor if that's what suits you best. So we'll start by standing tall, firming the belly, finding that sense of length. We're going to lift the right foot off the floor. It doesn't need to be high, but just making sure that the left hip is still over the left foot. And then as we stand tall, we can bend the left knee. Here we find our point of focus, and this might be enough. We don't want to bend the torso forward. We're nice and upright. We feel that length. And then if you wish to, floating the left heel up off the floor, coming to wherever feels good for you. And you might like to keep both hands on the chair or bring one hand to the center of the chest. Soften your gaze just a little. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Remember, you can do any variation. When you're ready, both hands down, lower your left heel, lengthen your left leg, step onto both feet. Take a moment on both feet just to observe the effect of your practice. You might like a little shake out of the legs, a little sway of the hips or a wriggle of the shoulders, whatever feels good to you in this moment. And we are going to come into a chair-based downward dog as well. So we're going to place the hands onto the chair and walk the feet slightly back. Take the feet nice and wide, soften the knees, lengthen the tailbone back behind us, and allow the head to come wherever is comfortable, perhaps not below the arms, but aiming for in between the arms. With that sense of length into the tailbone and into the crown of the head, you might like a little gentle sway of the hips from side to side. Maybe just tapping into extending through one side of the body and then the other. You might also like a little gentle turn of the head from side to side. When you're ready, you can look towards your chair and come back to an upright position. Very good. Aces. One of the really nice postures that we can do for the crown chakra is a standing backward bend. So for this, we want to stand nice and close to the chair, but I'm going to demonstrate first. So you can do anything you like with your hands. So it can be here at the center of the chest, or you can take your arms around the body and up. Doesn't matter which of these you choose. We're going to really, really firm the belly muscles and anchor ourselves into the feet and the lowest part of the belly. And then we breathe in to take, well, I'm going to take my arms around the body to look up and open the chest, and then breathe out to come back the way. But you can equally do it by breathing in, hands to the center of the chest, or coming back to center. So we don't need to do a massive amount of movement here. If we step really close to the chair, we can keep our bodies moving backwards instead of moving forwards. And you can equally do this with a wall in front of you as well, if you like. So we stand, and if you want to, you can hold on to your chair as well. All of these things are possible. We can, maybe let's do one holding onto the chair first. So we're going to press down into the feet and lengthen into the crown, and we're going to firm the belly muscles and really anchor ourselves into the pelvic floor as well. Hold onto your chair, and as you breathe in, lift your chest up, draw your shoulder blades towards each other, maybe lift your gaze, have a sense that the front of the body is lengthening, the belly muscles are working, and then come gently back to the upright position. So this is perfectly acceptable as an alternative to this posture. You can simply do this. And as another alternative, you can simply raise the arms up as you look up and then bring the arms down. You don't need to do backward bending, and please do something that makes you feel stable and secure. So our second variation will be hands to the center of the chest, or one hand there, one hand on the chair. Firm in the belly and the pelvic floor. We're going to roll the shoulder blades towards each other, lift the chest, maybe look up towards the ceiling. There should be no pinching feelings in the back of the body because the front of the body is strong, and then coming back to center. Very nice. Relaxing the arms down, rolling in the shoulders, rolling in the hips, and of course taking a forward bend anytime that you feel that you need to. Now, our final pose variation, I don't know, actually, there are many variations we could do, but here we're going to firm and anchor into our pelvic floor and our belly muscles. One hand on the chair, or both hands raising out to the sides and up as we open the chest up, lifting, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other, firm in the buttocks, firm in the belly muscles, and then reaching straight up to come to an upright position, and then floating the arms down to the sides. Give yourself a little roll in the shoulders, and I hope everybody feels like they need a forward bend, because that's exactly what we're supposed to need after this. Stepping your feet back and taking another one of those lovely chair downward dogs, turning the head from side to side, soften the knees, wiggle of the hips, or any other movements that feel good, perhaps a little turn of the shoulders as well. So making any movements that really allow you to release the effort. When you're ready, rounding through the spine to come up to standing and walking your feet into your chair. Awesome sauce, guys. Really, really well done. So this is a movement we don't often do in chair yoga, although we do sometimes do a similar movement in Warrior One, which is a good alternative to this. So let us move into our next posture, which is tree pose. So we're going to stand next to our seat, a chair. We're going to have the chair on the right-hand side. We're going to move the left leg out first. And so we're going to really hold on to the chair with our right hand and be very nice and tall. Make sure as we take the left heel off the floor that we don't sag the right hip all the way to the right, pressing into the foot and lifting into the crown of the head. Then turn the left knee out a little or out a lot, as you choose, resting the toes on the floor and the heel of the left foot against the inside of the right leg. This might be where you start and finish, but if you'd like to, you can lift your left foot a little higher still up the right leg. For those who are very comfortable lifting very high, you can do that if you like. I'm going to stick with this variation today. We're still pressing down into the right foot and finding that lift into the crown of the head. And then we can take our left arm out to the side, just reaching the palm up as if we're connecting up into that universal energy, drawing the shoulder down and using any sort of fingertip light touch on the chair with the right hand for support. And then we hold as we breathe. You might even raise your gaze ever so slightly to keep the back of the neck in line with the rest of the spine. Tree pose, Vrksasana. When you're ready to come out, we'll turn the knee to point forwards, bring the left hand to the center of the chest, step onto both feet. Just notice how much to the left you come as you step onto both feet. It's amazing how much we compensate with the position of our center of gravity. Taking a few moments just to wriggle anything that needs wriggling, shake out anything that needs shaking out. And then we can do our second side. I'm going to turn my chair to the other end of my mat. You might just have something close by on your left side that you prefer to use. We're going to stand onto the left leg, have that sense of lifting tall, and then gently turning out, lifting the right heel and turning out the right knee so that the right toes rest on the floor, the heel perhaps on the inside of the left leg. And just checking that your left hip hasn't sunk to the left. You're really pressing down and firming with that lift. If you'd like to, you can raise your right foot up a little or up a little bit more. And then with the right hand, you can rest it on the center of the chest, or you might lengthen that arm away from you, palms turned upwards to draw light into your center from above. Softening the shoulders down as you lengthen the crown of the head up, breathing deeply, perhaps avoiding locking that left leg straight. If your knee has a tendency to do that, just keep it a touch off that locked position. When you're ready, we're going to bring our hand back to the center of the chest, turn the knee to point forward, step onto both feet. Just notice that shift of the weight, and then wriggling anything that needs wriggling, softening out or shaking out anything that needs shaking out. Very good. Now I promised you that we would use our blocks or bricks on top of the head standing up as well. So we are totally going to do that. So here we can use the chair for support if needed, but we can try it just freestanding. So standing nice and tall, we're going to place that brick or block or cushion on the crown of the head and allow the arms to rest down to the sides. Take a few deep breaths here. Try to find that sense of lift and length. Awesome. And then you might try a little few movements, like a little roll of the shoulders or a little shift of your weight over one foot and then the other, maintaining this sense of balance, this sense of stability from the base of the chakra all the way to the crown, so that you can keep that block in place. So we don't need to be rigid in our alignment to feel that flow of energy. We can move from one foot to the other. We can move the arms. All we're trying to do is tap into that sense of security we've built from our base chakra all the way up through the body to the crown of the head. Very good. And it's okay if it takes a bit of practice. But this is how we move through life. We don't maintain a rigid alignment all of the time. We move in a way that suits us, suits the situation. We adapt, we're human. So taking a moment perhaps to just transfer weight from one foot to the other, moving around the space that you have in any way that feels like you're able to balance your block. And if you wish to take one foot off the floor completely and find that balance, you can. And just seeing if it works just as well, which usually for me it doesn't, on the other side. Nearly lost it then. Okie dokie. Better finish there before I embarrass myself by dropping my block on the floor. So whenever you're ready, both feet down, taking your block away and just placing it down anywhere that's comfortably out of the way, rolling in your shoulders again. And we're going to come to do a seated spinal twist. But if you fancy any other movements before you come to sitting, please feel free to do them first. So, as you come to sit, we want all of the things ready for our relaxation practice. So you might like an extra layer or two. I'm pretty sure that my husband has switched the heating off, forgetting that it's chair yoga. So it's a little bit chilly at this end, but it is December, it's winter time. So I have got an extra cloaking scarf to wrap round, and that's really nice for doing meditation practices. Meditation practices are often associated with our crown chakras. Please excuse me while I just lubricate the voice. So we are going to come to sitting on our chairs again. We're working our way to a bit of stillness, but for now, we want to do a little spinal twist first. So bringing the feet together. If you feel comfortable, you can cross the right ankle over the left and squeeze the knees and the thighs towards each other. If you are really comfortable, you can cross the thighs right over left, doing whatever feels good, or just simply having the feet side by side, but still thinking about that squeeze of the knees towards each other. I'm going to stick with this variation today. We are going to sit really, really tall and turn to the right. So taking the left arm across the body, perhaps it rests on the right or left thigh, and then the right hand behind us. It can be on the chair back or the chair seat, or just sliding behind the body to the left hip. Whatever you've chosen, press into your feet, keep the thighs moving towards each other, lift into the crown of the head, and gently turn to your right. Have a sense of drawing the chest open by allowing the right shoulder to lead the movement. And then turning your head to wherever feels comfortable, keeping that length in the back of the neck. Usually that means the head is a little bit further back towards the back of the body than it is forward across that front shoulder. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out, softening the eyes. One more deep breath in, deep breath out, and then turning to the front with just your head, releasing the hands, unwinding the spine slowly towards the opposite side, and then back to the center. We'll uncross our legs, take a little roll of the shoulders, and we're actually going to take a little forward bend as well. So nice and wide in the knees, breathing in to take the arms up, breathing out to bring the hands down to the tops of the thighs and slide forward. We can rest on our hands or our forearms, or you can fold a little deeper still as you choose, whatever works for you. A little dangle of the head, maybe a little nod of the head or a turn of the head. And a little deep breath in and deep breath out. Hands can slide to the tops of the knees, pressing into the hands to roll back up to upright. And then we're going to bring our knees and feet back together and either practice the same position as you did last time or cross left ankle over right, left thigh over right, as you choose. Doesn't matter, as long as the knees and thighs are pressing towards each other. Press into the soles of your feet to lift tall, and then take the right hand across the body to the left thigh if you can, and the left hand behind you towards the chair, or sliding the hand behind the body. Finding that sense of lift, that closeness of the knees and thighs, and then turning the left shoulder, maybe even turning your head to the left. Taking a deep breath in, softening the shoulders down, maybe gently gazing down or closing the eyes. And another deep breath in and out, finding that long, slow breath. to unwind. We're going to turn to the front with the head only, then release the hands, unwind a little bit to the opposite side before returning back to center, uncrossing the legs and taking another forward bend. You can take the knees a little wider still if you like this time. Breathing in to take the arms out and up, breathing out to fold forward over the legs, maybe gently pressing into one knee or one thigh rather, and then the other, just to move the chest and torso a little bit from side to side. You can keep the knees wide, or you can bring them a little closer towards each other to fold deeper down, only if you wish to, allowing the crown of the head to come towards the floor. It's not going to touch the floor, that's not the object, just a sense of down. And here, softening the face, softening the shoulders, maybe gently nodding or turning the head if it feels comfortable. Holding for one more deep breath in and out. And then sliding your hands to your knees, pressing into the feet and into the hands to help the body back to the upright position. Bringing the knees and feet closer together again, making any final movements before we move into relaxation. Pieces. So we're going to wrap ourselves up. And as we do relaxation, we're going to focus on our breath for a more meditative relaxation rather than mindless relaxation, if that makes sense. It's going to be mindful relaxation. So wrapping yourself up nice and warm, settling yourself back in your chair seat, or of course, remembering that at this point you can always recline on a sofa or on a bed if you choose. I'm going to rest the hands just wherever they're comfortable. Take a final moment to move anything that needs moving before bringing your body back to center and back to stillness. Take a deep breath in and sigh gently out through the mouth. Repeating 3 more times, a deep breath in. Let all the effort of your practice go. Deep breath in. Let your muscles begin to relax. A deep breath in and surrender down into your chair and the floor. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm and fall into quietness. Take your awareness into your forehead. Feel that forehead center between the eyebrows, separating, spreading. Feel the area around the eyes softening. The mouth, tongue, jaw, and shoulders relaxing. Allow the whole of the body to feel heavy, warm, supported, and softening down. Move your awareness to your breath. Observe your natural breath in this moment. Observe the softness, the depth, the rhythm of your breath. Remembering that there's no right way to breathe, except as your breath is falling in this moment. Observe the movement of the breath in the body. And the sensation of the breath, cool as it comes in through the nose, warm as it leaves the body. We're going to work with these sensations as we watch the breath moving in the body. Imagine it's coming in through the soles of your feet, slightly cool, and that sensation of coolness coming up through the legs, through the entire body to the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, warmth starting at the crown of the head, moving down through the body, the legs, and out through the soles of the feet. Breathing cool in through the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. Breathing warmth out from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. Cool in from feet to crown. Warm out from crown to feet. Allow your breath to keep moving in this way. If you find your mind wandering, simply bring it back to this sensation of cool and warm, the passage of breath from top to bottom, bottom to top. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your hands and your feet by moving your fingers, your toes, maybe rolling wrists and ankles. When you feel ready, take a deep breath in and stretch the body in any way that feels good. Maybe stretching one side and then the other. Oh, when you're ready, you can gather yourself back to center. You might like to bend one knee into the chest and then the other. It's quite a nice way to conclude a practice. At the front of our seats, we are going to again adopt the mudra for the crown chakra, the outside edge of the little finger and outside edge of the palm and the inside edge of the palm and thumb together. All of the other fingers making a nice bowl, which will rest over the crown of the head. Connecting into that sense of light from above, our thousand petaled lotus is going to begin to close. So we're bringing the fingertips towards each other, of the opposite hands towards each other. The crown chakra never completely quietens, but we want it to be quieter so that we don't lose our connection to the earth. So we can bring the palms together down to the third eye, the center of the forehead, closing the third eye chakra, making it dormant, ready for action, but asleep if you like. And then hands to the throat chakra, the same thing, closing the throat chakra, allowing it to rest. Palms across each other on the heart chakra, the center of the chest, to conclude our practice in the heart. Palms onto the space underneath the rib cage, the Manipura chakra. Closing here, closing the navel chakra across the navel, and then resting the hands onto the thighs to close the base chakra, focusing on the space underneath the body, the perineum, pelvic floor, closing here and at the soles of the feet. We can draw on the energy of any of our chakras at any time, but the energy is contained in those spaces for now. When you're ready, bring your palms together, lifting your chest, bowing your chin towards your chest. Give yourself a soft smile. When you're ready, raising your head and opening your eyes. I hope you've enjoyed this practice today and throughout this term, this beautiful journey through our energy centers. And I wish you the very best of the festive season. I will see you in the new year. Namaste.